Good morning and Jai Hind, children. All these days I was revising your poetry section, but by now I think you have finished revising not a revision I have done, the preparing of the poetry section. Preparations you have finished, but now from today onwards, I'll be teaching you your grammar section. I've already taught, this is the revision. Now it is not possible for me to go to in the detailed study of the topics of your grammar section. Only I can do is what? I can just touch the grammar section and explain you the main points. But for you should be responsible to go through my videos where I have explained in a detailed manner each and every topic of your grammar section and your writing section also. So please do go through my videos where I have explained it with all the rules and all. So here I can only quickly revise the main points, right? So first I'll start with the determiners. Determiner was the first topic which I had started with. So what are the determiners? Determiners are the kind of noun modifier. They sit before the noun, modifying the noun. That is what? By declaring the reference of the noun. Their function is quite similar to that of adjectives. But determiner refers to a relatively limited set of well-established words that can be said to mark nouns. And what are the functions of determiner? The functions of determiner is to express the reference. That is, they clarify what a noun is referring to. For example, when one says that box, the listener knows about which box the speaker is speaking of, right? Referring to. The listener, he knows it or she knows it very well that which box is referred here. Understood? So that is the determiner here, right? Some examples. The girl is a student. The girl. I have lost my keys. So my possession. It is referring to the possession. My keys. Some folks get all the luck. Some. Some is the determiner. Which book is that? Which is the determiner? I will take this one. This one is referring to this particular book. So this is a determiner. Both the windows are open. So it is referring about both the windows. Those are open, right? Now comes the common kinds of determiner include definite and indefinite articles. ये तो हम लोग बचपन से पढ़ रहे हैं, है ना? Like a or an. Now, what are the demonstratives? Demonstratives are this and that. Possessive determiners, my, their. Cardinal, numerals, quantifiers, what are those? Many, all, and none. Distributive determiners, each, any. Interrogative determiners, which. Right, children? And the determiners are also classified in two sections. One is specific determiners, another is unspecific determiners. We use specific when we believe that the listener or the reader knows exactly what we are referring to. Right? जैसे कि this is my book. That is my house, right? So the listener is quite confirmed about about the object which is specified by the speaker. Now the unspecific determiners. When we are talking about things in general, okay, and the listener or reader does not know exactly what we are. Like some of the children, they came to the party. Some of the children. So it is nothing definite, right? Now, can you pass the salt? Look at those lovely flowers. Thank you very much for your letter. So, these are all the salt. The salt is specified. Those lovely flowers, those is specifying. And your letter, your is specifying the letter. Right? And referring to our woman was lifted to by the helicopter. So our woman, it is not definite. It is very easy for any child to finish this work. Any child is not specific, right? Now, would you like another glass of water? So, another. Understood? So these are all about your determiners. There are integrative determiners also, the determiners which are used to ask questions such as which, what, and whose. Those are the integrative determiners, right? And they also depend on a noun. The use of such determiners also depend on the noun. Now, each is a distributive determiner, isn't it? And it is also called a distributive adjective. Consider the members of a group separately rather than collectively. Words such as each, any, either, neither are the examples of distributive determiners. Each went on their own way. Each went his own way. I'm sorry. Each went his own way. Each is used as a pronoun without any accompanying noun. Each man went his own way. Each man went his own way. Each is used as a determiner accompanying the man. Right? The quantifiers indicate quantity. Some example of quantifiers include all, some, many, few, and no. So quantifiers are all, it also depends on the noun. Quantifiers only indicate a vague quantity of objects. It's not a specific number, right? Such as 12, a dozen, first, single, once, okay? Which can also be considered as numerals, right? Now, the possessive determiners, they modify a noun by attributing possession or the other source of belongings. My school, my book, my mama, our house, they filled, right? So, to someone or something and usually reflect the noun's genitive case. They are also known as possessive adjective, right? So, that's it for your determiners. I don't think that I have to go much further into it because I have well prepared the video which you can very well, you can go to the video and it is well explained there. So you can prepare yourself from that. This is just a revision. And for your revision practice, I'll be giving the mock papers, right? So now comes the subject-verb agreement. What is the subject? Now, what's a sentence? Sentence where the words are placed in the right order and it expresses a full meaning, isn't it? That is a sentence. The sentence is always having a subject and a predicate. What is the subject? How do we know the subject? The subject, we know that the any place, animal, thing, okay, person who does an action, the doer is the subject, and whatever the subject does, it is the object, right? This is all we know it, and the subject and the verb and the object is connected by the auxiliary verb and the doing verb, action verb, that is the verb. Now while placing, using this action words, that is the verb, there is a very strong relation with the subject. If the subject is singular, the verb also acts singularly. How it is performing its duty? Like if the subject is singular, like the dog, the action word is barks. So how I am just relating the subject and the verb? The subject is singular, the dog is one, and I am adding s or es, making the action word act singularly, right? So this is the way the verb acts singularly. When the subject is singular, the verb will also be singular. When the subject is plural, the verb will also be plural. Like the dogs bark. How the verb acts singularly? When we add s or es to it, right? And when the verb acts plurally, when the subject is plural, and by deleting an s or es with the verb, right, children? Right? Now there are many rules, as I told you in determiners also. There are exceptions. There are many rules which you have to learn. The usages that you have to learn going to my videos, right? I've explained it well. If I start explaining it now, I won't have time for the revision, right, children? So the next is the tenses, right? Now children, tenses I have already taught you, and in my video again I will be suggesting you to go to my video. It is detailed in detailed manner I have explained there. So here I'll be explaining you the tenses. Just a quick recap, right? In English grammar, children, verbs are often used in a way that it indicates or denotes the time, right? When the event occurred. So what did I say? The verb are often used in a way that it indicates or denotes the time when an event has occurred. Now these verbs that take up different forms to indicate the time of an action, event or condition by changing its form are called tenses, right? Did you follow? The time of action is tense. Now this time is again bifurcated in three. That is the present tense, which clarifies the present actions, the past tense, which clarifies the past action, and the future tense, which tells us about the actions which are going to the actions which are going to occur in the future, right? A verb that refers to the present is the present tense. The verb that refers to the past time, it is past tense. The verb that talks about the future time is future tense. Now each tense in turn is divided into four types. They are simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. Alright, so in totality, how many tenses we are having, children? 12 tenses in English, right? In present tense, there are four forms: the simple present, the present continuous, the present perfect continuous, right? Similarly, in past tense, we have the simple past tense, past continuous, past perfect continuous, right? In future, we have simple future tense, future continuous, future perfect tense, future perfect continuous tense, right? And now, I'll be telling you about the sentence structure. What is the sentence structure? The sentence structure of the present tense is subject plus what? The auxiliary verb plus the verb in its first form, that is a root form. If it is singular, it would act singularly by adding es to the root verb and then the predicate, right? Yes, the dog barks, and the simple it describes the universal action or a repeated action or an action in habit, right? Same for present tense. In present time, the action in present is simple present. The habitual regular actions in past is simple past. The habitual and regular and universal function in future, it is simple future. Now the continuous. Now when an action has started at a point of time and it is continuing till now is present continuous. It continued for some time in the past is past continuous. It will be continuing for some time in future. It is future continuous. And then comes the sentence structure. That would be the subject, auxiliary verb, and then the root verb plus ing. In simple present, you are having subject. In simple present, you are having the subject, the verb in singular or plural form matching to the subject, and then the predicate, isn't it? But in continuous, what you are having? The subject plus the auxiliary verb plus the root verb plus ing and then the predicate, isn't it? For present, it will be in present form. In past, it will be in past form, and in future, it will be in future form. The dog is barking, right? Now, perfect continuous. Perfect continuous, the action which has started and it is completed, but the effect is still there. So it is present perfect. The action which happened, it started it started at a point of time. It continued and it has ended, leaving its effect. In present, it is present perfect. In past, it is past perfect, and in future, it is future perfect, right? So sentence structure: subject plus has, have plus third form of verb, root verb plus predicate, right? Now the present perfect continuous tense. Now it is just the merge of present continuous and present perfect continuous. So subject plus has, have, had, been plus root verb plus ing plus since or for, right? So that is all for your tenses. Now I will be starting with your reported speech. So, what are the reported speech? Now, this also I have explained well in my video. So, if you want to really you want to learn reported speech very well, you can go to my videos and you can get it well explained with the rules and everything. Now, verbally, only the revisions can be done, right? And practices in the practice sheets. Nothing else we can do. But the explanations, well, I have explained in my video. So please, if you want to learn, please go to my videos and get yourself explained there, right? So what is the reported speech? In very simple language, I'll just make you understand. The reported speech is when you tell somebody else what you or a person said before. When you narrate something, when you report something to another person, it is the reported speech, right? The distinction must be made between the direct speech and the reported speech, which the reported speech, which we usually call it as indirect speech, right? Now the example of a direct speech, with the examples you would understand it in a much better way, right? She says, I like tuna fish, right? She says, I like tuna fish. She says, then comma or semicolon, okay? And within inverted commas, I like tuna fish. So this is a direct speech, isn't it? This is a direct speech, but when I heard this, I will narrate to my friend in what way? She says that she likes tuna fish, right? And why? I'm just she says I like tuna fish. So the verb here, the reported verb here is says, which is in present tense. I'll tell you why I am putting stress on this. Why the verb is says and it is in present tense, and the indirect, the reported speech is she says that she likes, that is also in present tense, tuna fish, right? So what happens in the indirect speech? The inverted commas vanishes, right? And the comma or the colon also vanish, and the says, that is the reported verb, it directs or it decides the tense of the reported speech. The reported verb decides the tense of the reported speech. And another thing, I like tuna fish has changed to she likes. She, I to she. The change of pronouns. Right? So children, this is what is the direct and indirect speeches. Now I'll tell you another one, like she said, I am visiting Paris next weekend. She said. What is the reported verb here? Said. So said is present tense or past tense? Past tense. So what did I say before? That it is the reported verb which is the deciding for the tense of the reported speech. Right? Am I right, children? So, she said, colon or comma, with an inverted comma, I am visiting Paris the next weekend. Inverted comma closed. Now, what do we do in indirect speech? Now, this is heard by one of your friends and your friend is narrating to your mummy. So, what she would do or he would do? She said that the comma or the colon, it is replaced by that, isn't it? She said that she was. Why it is was here? Because the reported verb is past tense. Was visiting Paris the following weekend. Next is changed to following. Next is changed to following. Right? Now the different type of sentences. What are the different types of sentences? They are the statements questions, requests and commands, and the other types, right? So, when transformation of a statement, you have to change what are the things you have to change? You have to change the pronouns, the tense, and the place and time of expression. So what are you changing, children? The pronoun, tense, place and time of expression. In which case? In reporting statements, right? Now pronouns, in reported speech you often have to change the pronouns depending on who says what. Example, she says, my dad likes roasted chicken. I'm talking about all chicken and fish today, na? She says that my is changed to her. Her dad likes roasted chicken. Says is there, reported verb. So the tense of the reported speech hasn't changed, right? So now the tenses, there is a table which I had already shared with you, and today again I'm going to revise that table, right? So the tense is the tense table. Are you all ready with your pencil and your notebooks? Yes. Simple present changes to simple past. If the reported verb is, stop it. If the reported verb is in past tense, then only the tenses of the reported speech change, right? And if the tense of the reported verb is future or present tense, the reported speech is, the tense of the reported speech is unaltered, right? So when we change the change of tense is when the reported verb is in past tense. ठीक है? समझ में आया? So simple present, it will change always in simple past. Like he said, I am happy. So what it will be? He said that am will be changed to was happy. Now present progressive, that is continuous. Present progressive, that is continuous. That he said, I am looking for my keys. He said, I am looking for my keys. So it would change to past progressive. Present progressive always changes to past progressive. He said that he was looking for his keys. He said that he was looking for his keys. Right? Now simple past changes to past perfect. Okay? Now simple past changes to past perfect. Like he said, I visited New York last year. So what it would be? He said that he had visited New York last year will be changing to previous year. Last year will be changing to previous year. Right? Clear? Now present perfect we change to past perfect. He said, I have lived here for a long time. He said, I have lived here for a long time. So the past perfect would be, he said that he had lived there for a long time. He had lived there for a long time. So past perfect would change to past perfect. There would be no change in case of past perfect. Past perfect will always change to past perfect. Right? He said they had finished the work when I arrived. So what it would be? He said that they had finished the work when he had arrived. I will be changed to he. He had arrived. Right? Now past progressive, Past progressive will be changing to past perfect progressive. He said, I was playing football when the accident occurred. He said that he had been playing football when the accident occurred. Right? Then past perfect progressive we change to past perfect progressive. There would be no change. He said that I had been reading a book. So it would be, he said that he had been reading a book. So simple future we change. Simple future how it would be? Will plus verb. He said that I will open the door. He said that I will open the door. So how it will change? He said that he would open the door. He would open the door. Right? Now, he said I would buy Mercedes if I were rich. Conditional sentence. If would plus verb in conditional. Alright? He said I would buy Mercedes if I were rich. What it would be? Would plus verb in conditional. He said that he would buy Mercedes if he had been rich. If he had been rich. Right? Now, the modals like modal can, in direct speech it would be I can do it. In reported speech, what it would be? He could do it or she could do it. Right? May in direct speech it will be may I go, and in reported speech what it would be? He said that he must, he might go out. I may go out, and what it would be in reported speech? I might go out, right? And must, what about must? Must, it would be she must apply for the job. She must apply for the job. And what it would be in the reported speech? He said that she must or had to. Must or had to apply for the job. Then will. They will call you. They will call you. And what it would be in the reported speech? He told her that they would call her. Now this grammar classes always it is enjoyed in the physical classrooms, isn't it? So he told that they would call her. Right? Okay, now the change of place, okay, and time. So today will be transformed to that day, now to then yesterday, the day before or the previous day, day ago, days before, last week, the week before or the previous week, next year, the following year, tomorrow, the next day or the following day. Right? Place here would be transformed to there. Then these would be transformed to those. Right? Now in questions. With the words what, why, where, how. What, why, where, how. All WH. Right? So how the changes is going to happen here, occur here. So the direct speech, why don't you speak English? This is always a question. Why don't you speak English? So now your friend will be asking other one. Okay? She said, or she asked me why I didn't speak English. Why don't you speak English? She asked why I didn't speak English. Right? Now, without the WH words, if you have an answer to your question, that is a probable answer. It might be yes or no. Okay. So, what How will you transform the sentences in this case? Like this. Do you speak English? Do you speak English? So if the answer may be yes, the answer may be no. So she asked me whether or if. She asked me whether or if I spoke English. Right? Did you understand? When there is a probable answer, it might be yes or no, then always you have to use whether or if, right? Now for the commands and the request, like Nancy, do the exercise, right? So she told Nancy to do the exercise, or she ordered Nancy to do the exercise. Okay, Nancy, give me your pencil, please. So she asked Nancy, she requested Nancy to give her pencil, to give him her pencil, or give her pencil, right? The tenses are not relevant for request. Simple used to and not to verb plus verb. Used to or not to plus verb, that is infinitive without to, is also used. Like she said, sit down. So what it would be? She asked me to sit down. She asked me to sit down. She said, don't be lazy. She asked me not to be lazy. Right? So for affirmative, what you are using? To plus infinitive without to. And for negative request, use not to plus infinitive without to. Right? Now, I think that's enough for your revision. For I have touched all the points for your reported speech, and you need to get it explained, learn the rules properly, and be sure that I'll be giving you the mock papers to do enough of your practice. Otherwise, you can start doing your sample papers also. They are there in the markets now. Okay? So, till then, be good, study as much as you can. Thank you and Jai Hind.